What happened after that?
Um, After that, he was like, "You right, bro. Next time I'm gonna just go to your dude." Then I go inside the house.
And what happens when you get inside?
When I go inside the house, Dominique's standing up with my phone in her hand, and she asked me, "Who's Kyla?"
Kyla?
Yes.
K-A-Y-L-A?
No, Kyla.
K-Y-L-A, okay. And who's Kyla? Who is she?
That was a friend that I met in Tallahassee.
And what was she asking? Why was she asking you who's Kyla?
From my knowledge, she went through my phone and she seen me and Kyla texting each other.
What was her attitude like?
You say what now?
What was her attitude like?
I could tell she was mad.
How can you tell?
It's just how she asked it, and then like I went to like try to reach for my phone, and she like kept it away from me, so I can tell she was mad.
Right? And what did you say when she asked you who Kyla was?
I told her let's go in the room and talk because I knew my brother was gonna come inside like shortly after me, so I was like, let's just go in the room and talk.
You don't want your brother in your business?
Correct.
What did all hell break loose then?
Yes.
Tell us what happened, please.
So the next thing that happened was basically we go in the room. She still was asking me who Kyla was, and then she FaceTimed her. And when she
How did she do that? On your phone?
Yes, on my phone.
Your phone was working?
Yes, it was working at this time.
When she FaceTimed her, what did she do?
She angled the phone to where as if it's just me that called her, and basically she had it set up, and I guess she was looking for answers or something. And me and Kyla had a short, brief conversation, and then after that, she just was like, "You ain't shit." Dominique said that. I'm saying.
Did she hang up the phone, or did she let you?
Yes, the phone hung up.
She hung up.
Yes.
She was testing you to see who Kyla was?
Yes.
Why'd you even participate in this?
I mean, like I say, it wasn't nothing to hide, and I was just like, "All right, you want to go do that? Do that." Pretty much.
Right? So you figured no big deal?
Yeah, no big deal.
Is that the end of it?
No, it wasn't.
What happened then?
So after she said, "You ain't shit," I asked her, I was like, "You doing all this? Let me see your phone." And then that's when she started spazzing out. She started hitting me on my head, and
How was she hitting you?
hard. Like she was like trying to hurt me.
Why'd you hit her back?
I mean, I don't believe in hitting females. My mom always told me that if you ever get to the point that you want to put your hands on a female, just leave her. Just leave the situation.
And are you defending yourself, like blocking her, or what are you doing?
Yeah, blocking her. Like basically balling up pretty much because I knew she was mad. So at that time, I took it as like maybe I deserved it because she seen me texting her.
Deserve to get hit?
I mean, that's how I took it. I guess because that's, like I said, it was just a respect thing at that time. So I just felt like, well, she felt like I was texting this girl, and that's disrespectful. So.
How about on Valentine's Day? Do you think you deserve to get hit then too?
Nah, not that time.
Why didn't you just leave her then?
Like I said, I love hard, so her good outweighed the bad. That's just what it was.
Thought.
Yes.
All right, so she's hitting you and using any objects or just her hands?
Well, actually, before she hit me, I forgot to say this point. She threw my phone and just broke it.
Where'd she throw it, against something?
And she threw it on the ground. I had this tile floor, and she threw it on.
Bedroom?
Yes.
And did you pick up your phone?
Yes, I picked it up and man, you really just broke my phone. And
how do you know it was broke?
I looked at it, the screen cracked, it's black and everything. You can't even open it.
You couldn't see the screen at all? No light would come out?
No.
You know if it was still receiving calls?
No, I don't know. I didn't think it was receiving calls because it's broke. You can't even see the phone.
You shut it off, or there's no way to do that?
No, there's no way to do that because how this iPhone set up, you gotta press one of the side buttons and then a volume button, and then you gotta swipe it on the screen. So
you couldn't do that at the time?
No.
All right, so what happens after she breaks your phone? Do you hit her, or does she hit you?
No, that's when she started hitting me and everything. And then in the midst of that, she had picked up a trophy and hit me on the top of my head with it.
Did she hit you full force, or was it partial force?
Yes, it was full force.
And did you get injured, or not really?
No, I didn't get injured because I pretty much braced for it. I seen it coming.
Did you try grabbing her and stopping her, or what'd you do?
Yeah, I tried to grab her. Like, after she did, I'm like, Dominique, stop. And then she put a trophy down. And then that's when she got her stuff and she was like walking out of my room.
Did she act like she was injured and she couldn't hit you or anything, or she pretty strong at that point?
Yeah, she's pretty strong.
Did you ever hold her hostage and tell her she can't leave your room and block her from leaving?
No, not at all.
Did you start raising your voice during this time period?
Yes, because she's like, fuck you, broke ass bitch, and you a fuck nigga, and all things like that.
Same terrible things.
Yes.
Did you start saying some terrible things back to her?
Yes, I was saying things back to her.
Why were you doing that?
I mean, cause I'm obviously frustrated that it even got to the point where she broke my phone. Like, it's one thing that you're hitting me, but you broke my phone. Like, I don't think that was right.
Did the fight spill out of the room?
Yes.
And what happened after that?
I thought she was leaving, but when she came out my room, she makes a right. That'll be where my living room is. And she goes to my PlayStation 4 and picks it up and slams it and breaks that.
Did the police ever take that or take pictures of it to your knowledge?
Not to my knowledge, no.
It was completely smashed?
Correct.
Did you try stopping her or you couldn't?
Nah, she beat me to it. Like, she did it fast at that moment. So
She was fully recovered in your opinion from whatever?
most definitely. Most definitely.
Where was Daryl, a DJ, at this point?
I think after the PlayStation was smashed, that's when he came out the door and was like watching us.
Out of his room?
Yes.
He's already in the house at this point.
Yes.
So, to the best of your knowledge, what happens after the PlayStation gets broken?
After the PlayStation gets more broken, me and her going back and forth at each other. I'm saying things to her. She's saying things to me.
How about physical force?
Not at that time.
Horrible things just
There's just horrible things being said. And she's walking out. I'm following her. And then I remember us being outside at one point.
Did you ever tell her to leave?
Yes, I did tell her to leave. I don't remember. I just remember I told her to leave.
In the house?
Probably. I don't know.
Sustained.
Where did you ask her to leave? Do you remember?
I can't recall.
How about your brother? Did he ever ask her to leave?
Yes, he did.
When was that?
I would say that was probably like after the fact. When you see like on the doorbell cam when she was hitting me and stuff and he got in between us. He was like, Dominique, just leave.
So let's talk about that. How did y'all wind up going outside?
She was on the process of leaving and I was following behind her, still yelling at her. She's yelling at me. Right. And then I remember I told her, go back inside and get her bottle. And when I went back to the door, I basically tried to open the door was locked. So that's how we got to that point.
Your brother locked you guys out?
Yes.
He was tired of it?
Yes.
All right. Does he open the door for you?
Yes, he opened the door.
What we saw in the video, is that what happened?
Yes.
All right. What happens when y'all get inside?
She goes and grabs her bottle. And at that time, my brother's still in between us. And she's going outside, and I go back outside, still yelling at her, going back and forth.
Yelling back at you?
Yes.
Any more physical violence at this point?
No, not at that point.
What happens then?
And then after that, I remember like right before she got to her car, I told her she's just mad because Kyla looks better than her and her body looks better than her naturally. And I sent her to a rage. She came back. My brother, he's like pushing me back type thing, but she went back to where these like the palm tree, it has bricks around it. And I was like near my car. So she went back and she had grabbed a brick and she went to pick it up as if she was going to throw it at my car. And
did she throw it?
No, she didn't throw it. Me and my brother got there in time to get the brick from out of her hand.
All right. And what happened after you guys got the brick from her hand?
After that, she was still swinging on me. Well, she started swinging on me, and then she like took the bottle that I believe it was in her purse, and she took the bottle and she like hit me on my head with it.
Tequila bottle?
Yes, the Patron bottle.
Where'd she hit you on the head? Do you remember?
It was like on my right side because she was like in the right in front of me, and to the right of me. So.
Top of your head?
Yes, the top of my head right here.
Show us approximately where it was. So.
Like in this area.
Your scalp?
Yes.
top of your right ear?
Yes.
Were you able to brace yourself or block it?
Yes, I seen it coming, so I braced myself.
Were you able to block it or no?
I blocked most of it, but I did get hit though.
What happened when you got hit?
I guess DJ was like, all right, Dominique, like you went way too far, so she eventually goes back to her car.
DJ said what?
Like, you went way too far, like, just leave. I'm telling you, Dominique, leave.
Okay. Was DJ getting upset?
Yes, he was upset.
You know if DJ ever got hit while he was in the middle of you two?
I can't tell you that. I don't know.
Did you get hit numerous times that night?
Yes.
Did you ever hit Dominique at all?
No, not one time.
Try to restrain her from stopping to hit you?
Yes, most definitely.
And was your car window broken at that point?
No.
So your phone, your PlayStation, anything else broken that you remember?
No, that was only two things.
Your heart, probably.
Yes.
And was this pretty much the breakup?
Yes.
I think that was the end of it?
Yes, I thought it was the end of it.
Before Dominique left, did she ever make any threats to you and out loud?
Yes, she pretty much was saying, I'm gonna have my brother them to come over here and fuck you up and kill you. Like, that was just the gist of what she was saying.
Did she ever talk like that before?
No.
To F you up and kill you?
No, she never talked like that before.
Oh, but this night, before she left, she said that?
Yes.
How many times, do you remember?
Numerous times.
Did you take it serious?
No, not at all.
You wish you did.
Yes.
Any reason why you didn't call the police on her?
Just, I love her, and like I said, I don't think it was that serious to call the police. I just felt like she was just upset and emotional, so I just felt like it wasn't no need to call the police.
You didn't want to get her in trouble?
No.
She never paid for your broken items or anything like that, right?
No.
So did you figure that was the last time you were going to see her?
Correct.
Did she drive away?
Yes, she drove away to my knowledge.
And when you went, did you go back inside your home?
Yes, me and DJ went back inside the house.
Did you and DJ start arguing?
Yes.
What was that about?
If I remember correctly, I believe he was like, man, I'm telling you, you need to leave that girl alone. She came to the mom's house and she disrespecting my mom's crib, breaking things. Just leave her alone.
Was he worried about your career also? Did he say anything to you about your future?
Not that I can recall. I don't think so. He was speaking on my future. I think he was just more so like just being careful with the women company I keep, pretty much.
And did you ever see your brother get that angry at you before?
No.
So this is way different than the Valentine's Day incident?
Correct.
You said he was upset with you then, right?
Right.
This was to a different level?
Yes.
DJ normally calm?
Yeah, he's super calm.
But not that night.
No, not that night.
All right. Did he, to your knowledge, did he take any of the threats serious?
No, I don't think he took it serious either.
Okay. So she leaves. Do you remember about what time it was? If you remember.
Probably around 10:30, 10:45. I don't know.
That's just a guess?
Yeah, that's just a guess.
You must have been upset.
Yes.
Do you know if any of your neighbors heard what was going on? I know you don't now, but did you know at the time?
No, not to my knowledge. I didn't know.
Was it loud enough that most of your neighbors could hear what's going on?
Yes, it was. It was definitely loud enough that they could hear.
Does it happen on a regular basis that she'd be yelling and screaming at you or hitting you and neighbors could see stuff?
Yes, we had a few occasions like that.
Did you ever touch her any time during those occasions?
No, not one time.
All right, so there was a video that was played. Did you see that in court where a DJ comes out and he's yelling at you and you're yelling back at him?
Correct.
What happened after that?
After that, I would say probably 15, 20, 30 minutes later, my sister called.
When you talk to your sister, was she, how was she acting?
She pretty much had called me and was like, "What's going on?" Like,
She upset?
She didn't sound upset to me. Okay. But she just asked me, she like, "What's going on?" Dominique called my phone talking about she was gonna get her brothers to come over, and she upset because you said her body don't look good like the other girls. Why would you tell her that? Pretty much.
Did she make any threats to your sister?
Yes, when she said that her brothers was saying, she said she was sending her brothers over to my house. But I remember I told my sister, like, nah, she's just bluffing, like she's just talking.
What did she say she was sending her brothers over for?
I can't remember what my sister exactly said to me about why she was sending her brothers.
And you calmed your sister down saying she's not going to do anything?
Right.
You know if your sister got into it with Dominique?
I remember my sister was like, I'm gonna call her back and try to cool off. Just basically tell her just don't go through with that type of route. Basically trying to send your brothers over to my mom's house.
Right. You know if your sister took it real serious, or you don't know?
I mean, I felt like she didn't take it serious when I had told her, like, I think she's just bluffing, just talking. She's just mad and emotional.
But she was concerned enough to call you.
Yes.
There was a text message you heard during this trial that your sister sent, and Dominique may have sent some to her. You don't know anything about those personally, do you?
No, I don't.
How long do you think you talked to your sister? A couple minutes?
Probably like 10 minutes maybe.
All right. What happened after that you recall?
That I recall, I believe my sister called back again. She like, all right, I cooled off. She was just really emotional, but she like, Travis, you can't be telling another female that just got surgery that another female looked better than her and her body looked better than her.
Did you tell your sister that was pretty much the end of your relationship, or you didn't know?
I didn't know. I don't remember exactly what was my response to that statement, but that's what happened.
You were in a bad mood probably, right?
Yes.
Were you injured from getting hit in the head?
No, not during that time. I don't think I was.
Did you have any other injuries on your body, or pretty much just from getting hit in the head a couple of times?
Just getting hit in the head a couple times.
All right, did there come a time where your mom came home?
Yes, my mom comes home, like, I'll say probably 10, 15 minutes after my sister made the second phone call to us.
And were you expecting your mom? Obviously, you were expecting her to come home, but did you know she was coming home then?
Not during that time, but she came home, and I remember she had told us that she was like, I'm worried, like, why Dominique calling my phone and saying things.
All right. Well, did your mom know about the threats?
I can't remember if she knew about it at that moment, but she was basically saying, like, I think she read a message of her saying that you got the wrong one, like Travis got the wrong one.
Your mom testified a little while ago that Dominique also called her and threatened her. Did you know that or not know that? Not threaten her, but threatened you that sending her brothers over to kill you. Did you know about that, or your mom didn't tell you?
She pretty much just said that, like, she called me and was speaking about her brothers, and then the phone dropped. From my recollection, that's what I remember.
All right. So kind of the same theme. She's talking to your sister and what she threatened you about.
Right.
And no one really took it that serious.
No, because I remember specifically, I was like, Mom, she ain't gonna do that. Like, she's just bluffing. Like, she's just emotional about the whole situation that took place.
Is your mom generally a nervous woman now that your dad passed?
Yes.
Does she sleep at night?
Nah, not to my knowledge. She definitely be up all night, in my opinion.
All right, so did you try to calm your mom down a little? Don't worry.
Yes.
Where were you when you're talking to your mom?
We was in my room, in my bedroom. I was laying down. I was actually finna go to sleep.
And when you go to sleep, what do you generally wear? What were you wearing that night?
That night I had my shirt off. I believe I had like these joggers or sweats on, and I had some socks on.
Did you set up your firearms to get ready to start killing people coming over your house?
No.
Where'd you keep them?
So I have my FN 57 handgun. I have that in a drawer where my boxers are at, and then I have my AR pistol in a Under Armour bag that I keep that I got actually from the combine. So.
What's the combine?
That's a NFL combine where basically you just go out there and it's for testing purposes. Pretty much, you have scouts that try to look at your speed, your change of direction, things of such like that.
What kind of bag was it?
An Under Armour bag.
How big is it?
Approximately. I guess like this big.
How many feet would you say that is?
I don't know.
Couple feet.
Couple feet, yeah.
All right. Why'd you keep the Sig Sauer weapon in there?
Well, I usually have that because I go to the shooting range often, That's why I put it at to have it concealed, like going into the shooting range.
Is that where you normally keep it in that bag?
Yes.
Where's that bag normally kept?
It's like right next to my bed.
You also keep that there for security?
Correct.
We saw a 100-round drum. Or when'd you get that?
Probably a couple of years before this incident.
As far as you know, that was perfectly legal to buy?
Correct. I asked the people from Shoot Straight too about if that was legal to buy.
Okay. And why did you have a drum with 100 bullets?
Just for protection purposes, like I said.
Did you ever plan on using it?
No.
I think in a million years you'd be here.
No, not at all.
All right, so your mom's in your room. Where's Daryl at this point?
He's in the room with us too.
Just the three of you?
Yes.
And how long do you think you all three were together?
Probably 15 minutes maybe.
All right. And what happened then?
I heard this loud banging, like constant banging, as if someone was like really trying to get your attention.
DJ did it a couple of days ago and showed us. Was it like that?
Yes.
That loud?
Yes.
What happened next?
I remember my brother was the first one. He like darted to the door, like without any hesitation. Like he just went to the door,
Okay.
and I just thought at that moment that the threats were real. So I grabbed my firearm and I head towards the door.
So your instincts kicked in that maybe this is real?
Yes.
You think it was the police like your mom and brother testified, or you thought no?
I thought it could be possibly police because that's something that usually the police would do. Like,
Or you thought it was the
beat that
right?
up. Yes.
So you grabbed the gun from where?
I grabbed it from my bag,
The
the unarmored bag.
Sour?
Yes.
Was it fully loaded?
Yes.
And why didn't you take the handgun at the time?
I mean, it was just instincts. Like the first thing that I just grabbed, and it was the nearest thing to me. So that's just what I did. I grabbed that.
You run outside with it?
No. I looked up on the monitor. I remember when I ran around the corner, I looked up on the monitor, and I seen it was 4 guys, and I noticed Keyshawn because he has this significant hairstyle, which was like a flat top at the time. And like I said, when I went out there, I put my firearm near the door, which was the couch.
Why didn't you take it out with you?
I just felt like I could mediate the situation. I just feel like it's a time and place for everything, and all this was a bit of much of a confusion. So I just felt like I could mediate the situation. And it's like nobody wants to do anything in front of their mother. That's what I thought.
Nobody wants to do anything in front of you? You mean your mother?
Yes,
They wouldn't want to do anything?
right. That's what I thought.
So you figure once they saw your mom, that'll be the end of it?
Right,
You can calm everybody down?
correct.
All right. Could you hear what anyone was saying before you went outside?
The only thing I could hear them saying, like, "Where's Travis?"
That's it?
Yes, that's it.
All right. So you put the firearm down. Do you remember where you put it?
I put it on the couch.
And were you able to mediate everything?
No.
What happened?
Literally, I walk outside, and I was going to approach Keyshawn, and I said, "What's up?" But before I even get the up part, the guy with the shirt off with the tattoos, he had sucker punched me in my left eye. And
Know him at all?
no, that was my first time ever seeing him. Yes.
You never met him to your knowledge.
No.
Okay. How does he hit you?
He hit me as if he was trying to knock me out.
Very hard.
Yes.
Did you see the hit coming or the punch coming?
No, he caught me off guard because, like I said, my eyes was directed towards Keyshawn because I was the only person that I recognized at that moment.
Which eye did he hit you in?
My left eye.
All right. What happens after that?
Right after he had punched me, it's like all those guys was like in unison, and they started like jumping me to basically they're coming from my right. So Tyler hit me from my left, and they started jumping me from my right to the driveway.
So all of them were jumping on you?
Yes.
You ever experienced anything like this before?
No.
You wish you had your firearm at that point?
Yes.
You would have got scared?
Yes.
Left?
Yes.
How'd you get them off of you, or did you get them off of you?
I remember my brother coming in, and he pretty much helped me out a little bit. So yeah.
What do you remember? Let me ask you this, but going back earlier in the night, did you ever slam Dominique to the ground twice?
No, never did that.
When you were trying to get her off of you on that video, did you put your foot down so she would actually stop hitting you and fall down?
No, I don't recall that.
How did she fall down? Is that you slamming her?
No, I didn't slam her. I thought she slipped because it's sometimes that pavement right there is slippery, and I think the grass probably was slick or something. I don't know how she fell.
Bounce right back up?
Yes.
She said there was something blocking the view when Ms. Perlette was questioning her that was blocking the video. You couldn't really see her slamming you. She's saying you still slammed her.
No, I didn't slam her. Not one
Up by the
time.
shoulder and something with the leg. Did you ever do anything like that?
No, I definitely tried to grab her arms and so that she can stop swinging on me because she was in a rage.
You ever slammed her to the ground?
No.
And anything you did touching her, that was in defense of making sure you didn't get hurt?
Correct.
All right, so what's your mom doing during this time period? Is she saying anything?
Oh yes. You talking about once we all started fighting?
Yeah.
Yes. During that time, my mom, she's like, "You guys, please go home. Like, you guys are on camera. Please just go home. Stop, you guys." Yeah, things like that.
Is your mom pretty much an emotional wreck?
Yes.
Before this incident happened?
Correct.
Did you think she could even ever come into a courtroom and talk in front of people?
No.
Were you shocked that she was able to do that here?
Most definitely shocked.
Okay. All right, so did you see any weapons at this point, any guns?
No, not at this point.
The fight that was going on, was it one-on-one?
No.
Tell us about that.
It was a bunch of back and forth. Sometimes it'd be 2-on-1, sometimes it's 3-on-1, 4-on-1. You know what I'm saying? Between me and my brother.
How were they fighting with you?
They was like trying to hurt us really bad, like trying to kill us. I took it as they was trying to kill us. They kicking us, punching us. I got choked one time, everything.
Okay. And were they saying anything to you during this battle?
Yes, they said, "We on demon time. Y'all gonna die today."
And what did that mean to you, demon time? You know about that?
Like, they basically, like, they don't, excuse my language to jurors, but they basically saying that I don't give a fuck about nothing. I'm coming to handle my business.
Is that a new term, demon time?
Yes.
I never heard it. That's why I was asking.
Yes.
All right. Did anyone ever ask you to apologize for allegedly slamming your girlfriend?
No. Like I said, when I had stepped outside and I said, "What's up?" before the up part, there was no talking. I got punched and now I'm getting jumped. And now me and my brother is fighting for our lives.
So they weren't there to find out your side of the story.
No.
They didn't care.
No, they didn't.
Sort of like the police, huh?
Right.
Sustained.
So you're in a fight now. How long does it last? Do you know, or does it just seem like a long time?
It seemed like a long time. I remember I was like out of breath, especially after I got choked. So it seemed like a pretty long time to me.
You're an NFL player. You can't beat up 3-4 guys?
Nah, I mean, them guys knew what they was doing. Like I felt like I couldn't get the upper hand, nor my brother. So.
All right. Did you lose sight of your brother at times?
Yes.
Tell us the best of your memory after the guys jumped on top of you. What do you remember after that?
I remember, like I said, it was at one point in the driveway I was getting choked by Tyler, I believe, and my brother had came and like got him off me.
You say Tyler, that's the guy without
Yeah, the guy without the shirt.
You know his name now, obviously.
Yes.
Okay.
And then after that, like I was trying to like distance myself, and then I remember I went from like the bottom of the driveway to east. It'll be east. From looking from outside my house, I went east and then
Is that towards Mr. Estes' home or away from his home?
away. It'll be away from Mr. Estes' home.
Okay.
And I remember at some point I get near the palm tree with the bricks around it.
What happens?
During that time, it was just me, Tyler, and Sebastian, and they were kind of trying to like angle me in. And when they was trying to angle me in, Sebastian was saying, "You fuck with the wrong girl, you finna die today." And then simultaneously when he was saying that, I seen Tyler, he pulled out a firearm from his right pocket.
And where did he point it at?
I didn't give him a chance to point it at me. When I seen him pull out his firearm, that's when I went inside to grab my firearm.
You immediately
Yes.
ran in.
Yes.
There's some testimony that someone said you were going to run in. They said, what are you running in your house for before that happened? Would that ever happen?
No, that's false. That never happened.
Okay. So Tyler pulls the gun. Do you remember which pocket he pulls it or no?
From his right pocket.
Does he point it or you don't even see him point it?
I don't see him pointing because, like I said, at that time, as soon as I see him, pull his firearm, I reacted and I went inside my house. Like I ran to my house. Yes.
Was it a matter of life and death even before that, in your opinion?
Most definitely.
Did you have a chance to get a firearm even before that or no?
No.
How about your mom? Did you know where she was at that point?
No, I lost sight. Like I said, during that time, I lost sight of my mom and my brother. So.
You know where they were, your mom and brother?
No, I knew they was outside, but I just didn't know where they were.
So you run in the house, right?
Correct.
What do you do then?
That's when I came outside and I slipped, like you guys seen in the video. And I noticed Tyler was near my mom, so I approached Tyler.
Start shooting?
No.
Do you have any problems loading the gun?
No.
Pulling the slide back?
No.
Was it already in the ready position?
Yes, it was already one in the chamber.
Just like you have your handgun too?
Correct.
Okay. Is that the way you were trained?
Yes.
So no problems loading it?
No.
You start shooting at Tyler?
No.
Your mom testified in this video about her grabbing you. What happened there?
She said, no Travis, no Travis. I remember she said, no Travis, no Travis.
She tried grabbing you or stopping you?
I can't recall if she tried to grab me, but I remember her saying, like, no Travis, no Travis.
Could you have shot Tyler?
Yeah.
At that point, if you wanted to?
Yes, most definitely.
Right in front of you?
Yes.
Was he attacking your mom?
No.
Was he attacking you at that point?
No.
Attacking your brother at that point?
No.
There may have been a couple other people in that video frame. Do you know who they were?
No.
You're more focused on Tyler?
Yes, I was more focused on Tyler because that was the guy who I seen pull out the firearm near the palm tree. So.
Your brother testified he had a gun pointed at him. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Did you lose sight of your brother during this melee?
Yes.
All right, so your mom's saying stop, right?
Correct.
What happens then?
I remember Tyler was like, you got that, you got that, you got that. And after that.
What does that mean to you? Like, don't shoot me?
Yes. That's how I took it. Or I don't know, maybe he was trying to throw me off or something. Like, I can't really testify on his behalf, but that's the only thing I can think of.
You didn't perceive a threat from him, did you, at that point?
No, not at that point.
Did you know where his gun was at that point?
No, I didn't see a firearm at that point.
He pointed it at you. Would you have shot him then?
Correct.
That didn't happen.
No.
All right. So you didn't perceive a threat from Tyler.
Correct.
You let him go.
Right.
Where's he go?
He started running in the direction which was south. Redwood. He started running towards where it happened to be their car, I guess.
Did you know that car was there?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know where they parked that. I was confused the whole time when we was fighting. Like, how did these people even get here? So.
Was there plenty of parking in front of your house?
Yes.
On the side of your house?
Yes.
Across the street from your house?
Yes.
All right. So Tyler is running and walking. How's he getting to the car?
He's running.
You start shooting him as he's running?
No.
Why not?
I mean, he wasn't a threat to me at that moment.
All right. And what do you do after your mom tells you to stop and he's running? What do you do?
When he started running, he drew my attention to my brother being down the street.
How far away do you think your brother was from you?
I would say at least 200 feet away.
200 feet?
Yes.
Okay. 3/4 of a football field or?
Yes.
All right. Is it dark in that area from where you're standing?
Yes, it was dark.
But you could still see him?
Yes.
How's your eyesight? Pretty good?
Yes, it's really good.
Your mom's eyesight same as yours or you don't know?
I think I got better eyesight than my mom.
You're a little younger than her.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you say anything to your mother?
I told my mom, go in the house, they got my brother down the street.
You said something about my bro. Do you remember saying something like that?
Yes.
What's that mean, my bro?
It's just a shorter term for brother. Like, my bro. Like, big bro, little bro.
Okay.
Like,
so bro means brother, obviously.
Yes.
And why'd you tell your mom to go in the house?
Because I was worried about her safety as well. You know what I'm saying? And
was that the first chance you got to tell your mom go in the house where nobody's attacking you?
Correct.
All right. Tell the jury what you see. What do you actually see when you look down the block to him?
When I was looking down the block, I seen two men jumping my brother, punching on him, kicking him. I mean, he's defending himself to the best of his ability, but I mean, I'm afraid for my brother at that point. So
You shoot at the guys?
no,
Why not?
because my brother's in that direction as well. So I mean, like I said, I didn't want to shoot anyone that night, honestly.
Okay. So what do you do when you see your brother?
I run down the street.
You have no shoes on?
No,
Socks?
I believe I had socks on. Yes,
You run fast as you can?
yes,
Are you pointing the gun at anyone at this point?
no,
You take a shot at anyone by the car when you get there?
no.
Why not?
I mean, like I said, I didn't think any one of them was a threat at that point. The only time when I thought there was a threat is when I got down there, like where I was basically near my brother.
Hold on. So you run to your brother. Where are the two guys that are fighting with him?
I'll say I was probably like 40 or 50 feet away. They stopped fighting with my brother, and then they go to the car.
You think they saw you?
I don't know.
Okay. Did they just stop all of a sudden?
Yes, they probably saw me though. I don't know.
All right, but when you're about 40, 50 feet away, they just stop hitting your brother?
Yes, pretty much.
And you're still running full force?
Correct.
How long does it take you to get to him? A couple of seconds?
Yeah, a couple seconds.
All right. When you get to your brother, what happens?
When I get to my brother,
You see where the other two guys go who are fighting with your brother?
yes.
Where do they go?
One of them went to the passenger side, and then one of them went like behind the driver's seat.
Does he go in the car?
Yes, I seen that one that was fighting with my brother going to the driver's side. I mean,
What?
I seen the one that was one of those guys that was fighting with my brother go in the like driver's back seat.
Driver's back seat?
Yes.
Okay.
So behind the driver's seat,
Where's the other guy go, do you know?
he went to the passenger seat.
The guy without the shirt.
I don't think he went inside. Like he was like halfway in, halfway out type thing.
Let me stop you. So the guy fighting with your brother, you know his name?
It was Sebastian and Chris Lowe.
Okay, Sebastian with the high dreads like your mother described.
Correct.
Where did he go?
He went to the passenger seat,
In the front or the back?
front.
And how about Chris Lowe?
He went to the driver back seat.
And those are the two guys fighting with your brother?
Correct.
And so you get there, does this happen in a split second, or are you
Yes,
standing
this-
there for 10, 15 seconds
Yeah.
watching this?
Yes, Jules. This all happened within a matter of seconds, like literally seconds.
So you see the guy get in the front passenger seat. You say Chris Lowe gets in behind the driver in the back seat.
Correct.
And do you see this guy without the shirt with the tattoos?
Yes.
What's he doing?
He gets to the car, and like I said, during this time at
What side of the car does he get?
the driver's side,
Front or back?
back.
What does he do?
He had the door like half. It was open still, so it was as if he was like using it as shield or something.
Right.
And like I said, I couldn't tell if he was in or out, halfway in, halfway out, and
You don't know.
I don't know.
What do you see?
At that time, as soon as I got down there, it appeared that the car was heading towards me, and the lights was off, and I seen Sebastian pointing the firearm through the front windshield, and Tyler was pointing the firearm through the door frame of the back door.
How far are you and your brother from this car at this point?
I'll say about 10 yards away.
Further or closer than you and me are?
Probably a little further, close to it.
Sorry?
Probably a little further, just a little bit.
Tell me when to stop.
About right there. Yeah, approximately.
So when that happens, you see the car coming towards you a little bit,
Yes,
and you know it's Tyler at that point with the gun?
yes.
And where is he pointing the gun?
Through the door frame of the back door, like it was open. So I don't know how to really explain it, but if it was the door frame open,
Sure.
it would be right in the middle of it, type thing.
Over the top of the door frame?
Yes.
Okay. We heard Keyshawn testify over and over about the gun wasn't past his face. How could it be past his face? Could it be past his face if he's in the back?
Sustained.
Well, was the gun past Keyshawn's face?
No,
Okay. Did you clearly see a gun pointed at you?
most definitely yours. Yes.
Where was your brother at that point?
He was to the right of me, and I believe he was behind me, though.
How much behind you do you think?
I would say
No.
probably 5 yards, maybe.
Were you focused on your brother?
No, I wasn't focusing on my brother. I was focusing on our lives, though. Most definitely.
Did you start shooting before you saw Tyler with a gun?
No.
Did you see anyone else with a gun?
Yes. Sebastian.
And where was his gun?
It was pointing through the front windshield.
And where was it pointed at?
It was pointing in me and my brother's direction.
Did you give him a chance to shoot you?
No.
You know if either one of them took a shot off?
No, I don't know. Not to my knowledge.
So why did you shoot first?
Because, I mean, if I wait for them to shoot, that's the matter of seconds, and it could be me and my brother's life just gone like that.
Did you feel that your brother's life was in danger of being taken away?
Most definitely. Not only my brother, mine as well, too.
Any doubt about that in your mind?
No doubt.
Did you want to shoot anyone?
No, I didn't.
Did you, at the time right after the shooting, did you know how many times you shot?
No, I didn't know.
Did you just keep shooting until you felt you and your brother were safe?
Sustained.
How long did you keep shooting?
I kept shooting until I felt like they was no longer a threat.
Were you trained to, you trained marksman at all?
No.
You trained in law enforcement to know exactly how many shots or where the shots are going?
No.
Did you do your best that day?
Yes.
Save your life?
Yes.
Did you even know anyone got struck?
No, I didn't know.
We saw all those shots in the car. Why'd you do all those shots?
Like I said, I kept shooting until I felt like these people were no longer a threat.
Did you have to pull the trigger over and over?
Yes.
We heard how the gunshot sounded. Was that you doing that?
Yes.
And you maintain every shot you did was in self-defense
Most definitely.
of you and your brother?
Yes, sir.
Did you see Tyler run away?
Yes.
Did you ever see him fall on the ground?
It looked like he stumbled.
Did you ever see him come out of the car? Or do you know if he was with the car or behind the car? Do you have any idea?
When the car was doing like a 3-point turn, it looked like he was like behind it, like using it as shield type thing. So.
Okay. And did you run and chase him and keep shooting at him?
No, I did not.
Did you see what your brother did?
Yes, my brother like ran in the direction that he ran in.
Does your brother have a firearm with him?
No, he does
Brother
not.
even have a firearm?
No.
Do you know why your brother did that?
No, I have no clue. I think he's a lunatic for even doing that, to be honest with you.
Did you chase this guy also and say you're going to finish him off and start shooting at him as he's running?
No, not at all.
Did you actually know that was Tyler running away at the time? Well, you didn't know his name Tyler, but did you know it was the guy without the shirt?
Yes.
So after the shots, we see you on the video. Remember that video?
Correct.
Why'd you go down the block?
Well, because I seen my brother run in that direction, so I was worried about his safety as well as just making sure that those other guys wasn't coming back.
So what'd you do then? I mean, what'd you do or what'd you see when you went down the block?
What I seen was when I was going down the block, I saw that my brother was following him in his direction, Tyler in his direction, and I seen Tyler jump the gate. So I told my brother, come back, he's gone now.
You actually saw Tyler jump the gate?
Yes.
Did you shoot at him?
No.
Why not?
Because he wasn't a threat to me at that moment.
Okay.
His back towards me, everything, so.
And you told your brother, come on?
Yes.
And what'd you do after that?
I walked back to the house.
Did you try dumping the firearm somewhere and hiding it?
No, I did not.
Why not?
Because I did everything in self-defense. I had every right to do what I did. I saved me and my brother's life.
Why don't you throw it on the roof of the neighbor's house so the police won't find it?
I mean, I just wouldn't do that. Like,
Think of doing that?
no.
How about pick up the shell casings and hide everything? Do you think about doing anything like that?
No, not at all.
So you walk home?
Yes.
Do you see anybody besides the people we talked about?
No.
Did you even know Mr. Estes watched a part of this?
No, I had no clue.
Did you start hearing sirens at all?
Yes, I'll say probably like 2-3 minutes later, I heard sirens.
What'd you hear?
I heard sirens and I heard the helicopter. I think I seen the helicopter light flashing down on the streets and stuff like that.
Okay. So did you stay outside or what'd you do?
No, we was inside. Me and my brother came back inside.
Who went in first?
I went first.
And when you went inside, where was your mom?
She was like in the kitchen area, if I believe.
What was she doing?
She was frantic, crying,
Okay.
things like
Or
that.
anything?
Yeah, I told her. I told my mom. I said, Mom, I saved me and my brother's life. They was pointing guns at us.
And were you emotional during this time, or were you just talking like this?
No, I was definitely emotional. I was shooken up. Like, I mean, if you ever go through that type of experience, it's not a good feeling. Like, just knowing that, like, you just seen your life flash before your eyes. So I was definitely emotional.
Were you in shock?
Most definitely.
Crying?
Yes, I was crying.
Did you ever go through anything like this, other than what happened to your dad? But did you personally ever go through anything like this?
No, never.
All right. So you told your mom that. Was your mom just frantic the whole time?
Yeah, she was frantic.
And when DJ came in, did he tell your mom anything?
Yes, he told him, he said, my brother saved our lives.
Did he say anything about firearms?
Yes, he said they had pointing guns at us.
Any other details?
No, it was pretty much brief like that.
Why didn't you call the police?
I mean, like I said, I heard the sirens and I heard the helicopter, and I just felt like the cops were eventually going to come to my house. So,
Did they do that eventually?
they didn't come directly to my house, but I remember they basically pulled over my sister after the situation. After she brought food to my mom, they pulled my sister over when they was leaving.
How'd you know about that?
She called. I believe she called the house phone or my mom's phone, one of the two.
Okay.
And she pretty much said that they thought that she was trying to have me flee, pretty much.
Hide you?
Yes. And they said basically it was a homicide, someone passed away, and someone was in critical condition.
And that's the first you heard someone actually got shot?
Yes.
Did you give your sister anything to remove from your home?
No.
Did you ask her to take you out of there and send you to Mexico or anything like that?
No. I mean, like I said, I didn't do anything wrong. I had every right to do what I had did.
What'd you do with your firearm?
I put my firearm on the top shelf of the room, in my room, in the closet.
Did you try to hide it under blankets and things like that?
No.
Why'd you put it in the closet on the top shelf?
Just for safety purposes, you know what I'm saying? Because once my sister had said about someone being dead and someone shot, and I was just being safe on all of that.
What do you mean safe? Explain that.
Because I just feel like you see so many things in life where police officers are, you know what I'm saying, killing people, and the fact that they know I have a firearm, just being safe. I didn't want to take a risk at it.
You don't want the gun anywhere near you in case the police come in the house.
Correct.
You knew they were coming.
Correct.
All right. So what do you do with the bullets?
I put them in my brother's room under the bed.
Why do you do that?
Like I said, I just didn't even want to take any chance or risk at them even thinking, you know what I'm saying, that I'm danger to them as well.
Were you trying to hide the bullets?
No.
Then why'd you put them under the bed?
It was just a random spot, just because it just felt like that was the safest spot to be.
You try covering them up or anything like that?
No.
You try hiding anything in the attic?
No.
Backyard?
No.
All right. So the police eventually they come.
Yes.
That's after your sister leaves.
Yes. It's after my sister leaves, so pretty much they advised my sister that they were going to let her know when they're ready to pretty much detain me or arrest me. So they come, and basically my sister, she called my mom back, or she called the house phone. I don't remember which phone she called. And she told me to come outside, and they told me, when I got outside, they told me to walk backwards with my hands up.
Do they have speakers?
Yes.
So your sister is with the police and tells you come on out now?
Yes.
Okay. And when you come out, what did the police do?
I remember they was on the road, so I basically had to walk through the yard backwards. And it was yes.
Okay.
And I had my hands up, and they basically just told me to keep walking back until I got close. And then once I got close to one of the officers, they told me to just put my hands behind my back.
You see anybody pointing guns at you?
I mean, they definitely had their arms, you know what I'm saying? I mean, their firearms up at me, just in case. Yes, just in case. I guess that's for safety purposes. Maybe they probably thought I was going to try to run, or
Sure.
I had another firearm, so.
See any dogs out there at the time?
Yes, I saw dogs.
So did the police, what did they do when you came outside? They handcuff you?
Yes, they handcuffed me
Right away,
right away.
on your back.
Yes,
And did you feel you were under arrest at that point?
most definitely.
And what did they do with you?
They put me in a cop car, and they had me there for 5 hours, literally. And I remember they were switching shifts too, so I got changed from like one cop car to another cop car.
And you're in handcuffs the whole time.
Yes.
Did you get to talk to your mom or your brother again?
No.
Okay. And eventually they take you to jail?
Correct.
And we found out you got charged with first-degree murder and 3 attempted first-degree murders.
Correct.
Are you guilty?
No, I'm not guilty.
You're not guilty?
I pled not guilty, yes.
From day one?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Because I saved me and my brother's life. I had every right to do what I did. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't do that, me and my brother wouldn't be here to testify today.
May I approach the witness, Judge?
May.
Defense would offer 28 through evidence, Judge.
Right. You said the state has an objection or no objection? No objection. Very well. It will be admitted without objection.
This is A through E. What are those that we're looking at?
These are photos that my sister took when she was at my house after the incident.
You have any idea if she sent them to your phone or not?
Yes, I believe she sent them to my phone.
Did you ever see them on your phone?
No, not at all.
You know how I got those? If you know.
I couldn't tell you. Probably my sister gave it to you.
You never got your phone back, right?
No.
Permission to publish those, Judge?
You may.
Is this the way you look when your sister came to see you?
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you. Permission to approach the witness.
You may.
So you must be marked as 21A through G. Do you recognize all those pictures?
Yes, sir.
And how do you recognize them?
These photos was taken of me like 3 days after I was arrested.
Could have been a little longer, possibly?
Possibly.
All right. Do they fairly and accurately depict the way you looked when you were in jail?
Most definitely.
And they show similar injuries to the other pictures?
Yes, sir.
Just a few days later or sometime later?
Correct.
Time the defense would offer in the composite exhibit 21.
Any objection? Very well. It's admitted without objection. 7 photographs, I think it is.
A through G, 21A through G.
That'd be 7.
Permission to publish?
You may.
Thank you. Police ever take pictures of your injuries?
No.
Your Honor, I tend to the witness. Thank you, sir.
All right. Very well. Thank you. Who's going to handle cross? All right. Miss Edwards. Ladies and gentlemen, need a stand up and stretch or longer break? Restroom break, perhaps? No? Okay. Very well. You may begin.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rudolph.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Rudolph, you would say you are an intelligent man, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You'd also say that you have quick reflexes,
Yes, ma'am.
and you would say that you've taken your oath today very seriously, correct? To tell
Yes.
the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you been telling the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to talk to you a little bit about your relationship with Miss Jones, Dominique.
Correct.
When you were asked about whether or not you were in a relationship, why is it that you led this jury to believe that you were not?
Because I did not officially make her my girlfriend. We were dealing with each other.
Okay. So this woman is basically living at the house that you share with your mom and your brother and sleeping over there, right?
He has been sleeping over. That's correct.
You're exchanging the I love yous, correct?
That's correct.
You are also not just giving her words, but you're telling her she needs to trust you. That's why you're giving her the password, right?
Correct.
And you are pretty much exclusive at that point, right?
I mean, that's how you put it.
Not how I put it. That's how you put it in another hearing, that you were exclusive at that point, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Then why are you giving them the impression that you weren't really in a relationship?
I mean, I'm just,
Okay, let's move on.
okay.
You were cheating on Miss Jones, right?
That's not cheating if she's not.
You're going to
officially my
admit it
girlfriend.
or not, Mr. Rudolph.
No.
You're not cheating on her.
No.
So at another hearing where you also gave testimony, and you know the hearing I'm talking about on March 8th of 2022, you remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
No, it's overruled. Go ahead.
You testified then that you cheated on her, right?
I don't recall that.
Okay, let me show you.
Overruled. He's,
Judge, I provided defense counsel a copy of the same one, so we have the same page number.
Okay. okay, yes.
You're going to have this up here for a while, so just hold on to it, okay?
Okay.
All right. I want you first to go to page 313. And I want you to read line 15.
Okay.
You see right there where your answer is, we was exclusive pretty much?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. Now I want you to go over to page 341. Top line, line number 1.
This is hang on.
The last question is, there's multiple lines taken out of context. Only read one line, there's 5 left.
There's no line out of context. The question was whether or not he said that they were exclusive. That's what the line says.
It's overruled.
Are you with me yet, Mr. Rudolph?
Yes.
Page 341, line 1,
Yes.
going to line 2.
Yes.
And you recall right there, you admitted you pretty much got caught when she saw those text messages with Carla, right?
Yes.
Okay. Go down the page a little bit. Line 12 through 14. Read that to yourself.
I read it.
Again, you're admitting you deserved getting the hits because she caught you texting someone else, right?
Correct.
All right. We're not done. I'm going to also have you go to page 340. You're going to start at the bottom there, line 25.
Okay.
And then keep going over to 341.
Okay.
And I'm going to have you go back to page 334. And on page 334, I'm going to have you read lines 2 through 10 to yourself.
I'm going to object. It's impeachment and a collateral issue.
That's just important about truthfulness.
Well, I'm going to have to, well, both of you approach, please feel free to stand up and stretch, ladies and gentlemen. All right, you may continue.
Sorry for that interruption, Mr. Rudolph. Were you able to complete the page?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So you see there again where you admit that you were being unfaithful to her, right?
Correct.
Okay. So let's move on from that issue. You were cheating. Got it.
But
Sustained, sustained.
Move to strike the prosecutor's comment, Judge.
Disregard that comment, ladies and gentlemen.
I want to talk about something that is essential.
Judge, I object to the prosecutor's comment. It's irrelevant.
Sustained. Next issue, next question, I should say.
What exactly did Dominique say to you as she was yelling and carrying on in your house? Because a while ago on direct, you said that she said she was going to send her brothers over to kill you.
yes,
that what she said?
I said she was gonna send her brothers over to fuck me up and kill me.
That is what you said, right?
Yes.
But that is not what she said. Correct?
She said that.
I want you to go to page 342 of the same testimony. I'm going to have you refresh your recollection when you were asked what her exact words were. It's going to be lines 19 through 20 was your answer.
Okay.
And there, in her words, was, I'm going to send my brother to fuck you up. Nothing about kill, right?
Yes. From this testimony, yes.
Thank you. Okay. Let's start over, if we will. At the beginning of a case, after you're charged and you go to jail and you get an attorney, there's a process called discovery, correct?
Correct.
And that is when the state has to turn over all the evidence that it has against you, correct?
Correct.
And you and your attorneys receive that evidence, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then you gave the testimony that we were just talking about on March 8th of 2022, correct?
Correct.
And let's talk about what you knew by then, all right?
All right, feel free to stand up and stretch, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. So by that time, you had heard that Tyler was shot, right? And received evidence of that?
Yes.
And you knew that the gun belonging to Tyler had been recovered, right?
Yeah.
Judge, this is just his knowledge.
You overruled, do you know?
Yes.
Do, fine, if you don't, that's okay too.
And you knew that gun was a handgun that was recovered through the discovery process, right?
Overruled.
Yes.
And you also knew that Sebastian had died, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you knew that Sebastian was found in the front passenger side of that Cadillac, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you would have also seen the pictures, right, of the vehicle and what it looked like after the police found it.
Yes, ma'am.
And you also then would have seen the pictures of the casings and where they were located.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, this is not privileged information.
Well, hang on, come on up. Stand up and stretch, folks.
And Mr. Rudolph, at the time of this hearing, March 8th, 2022, you had sat there and listened to the state present evidence as well, right, by that point?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
had seen all these photos and the videos that were referenced in this trial?
Correct.
Okay. So going back, you knew about the casings then, the photos of where the casings were located?
Yes, ma'am.
And you also would have then knew the distance between your front door to where the casings were located, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you would have seen the ring videos from your residence, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Both of them? The ones when the men got there as well as the one when you went back in to get your gun?
That's correct.
And also the surveillance videos from Mr. Nash's house. You would have seen those as well.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to talk to you about Daryl that night. Daryl was wearing a plain white T-shirt, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
He was the only one in the plain white T-shirt, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And just so we have a frame of reference, state is going to call this one State 73, Judge, if I may approach the witness.
You may.
I'll show it to defense counsel first.
You may.
So, Mr. Rudolph, you can see your brother in that shot, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And of course, that's in like night vision, right? So you can't see the collars as well. But you remember he was the one wearing the plain white T-shirt.
Yes, ma'am.
It was, but overruled under the circumstances.
You were just asked on direct about the decision Daryl made to chase after Tyler after the shooting started. Do you remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you admitted you thought it was essentially nonsensical. He shouldn't have done that.
Correct.
Do you know how Daryl got all the way down the street from your residence?
No, I don't.
Okay. But by the time you saw Daryl and he was engaging in this fight with, you said, Sebastian and Chris, right? He was about, I think you said, about 200 feet down the road on Redwood.
Yes.
And you have no idea how he got down there.
No, I do not.
You said before you even got to where Daryl was with Sebastian and Chris with this fight about 200 feet down the road, that they left, ran off before you even got to them, right?
Yes.
And you said that was about 40 or 50 feet prior to getting to Daryl and where Sebastian and Chris were, right?
Correct.
So clearly at that point, you and Daryl just turn around and go back home, right?
No, I disagree.
But everybody's running back to the car. Why not?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm lost on what you're asking. Can you repeat the question?
Of course, of course. Why, if he was only 200 feet down the road on Redwood when you saw your brother,
Right.
you were about 40 or 50 feet away from him when everybody ran off and ran to the car, why didn't you two just go back to your house?
Well, I can speak on my behalf. I got in front of my brother because, like I said, it appeared to me, sure as that the car was coming towards us with no lights on.
I don't understand that, and let me see if I can with this question. Can you tell me how long 103 yards are, approximately,
Like a
if you know
football field.
anything that's like it?
Like a football field.
Like a football field, all
Right.
right? And it's your opinion then that by the time you saw Daryl and this young man running back to the car, that he was already by the car?
Yes.
But how could that be?
I'm confused on why you asking why. How could it be?
Well, you said he was only 200 feet down the road. How did they get all the way back to the car? If everybody's running to the car, why is Daryl running with them?
Daryl wasn't running with them. to
Then
the
he
car.
should have been further up on Redwood, and you shouldn't have been down there either, right?
No, I disagree.
Why not?
Because, like I said, I can't tell you why my brother was down there. I lost sight of him. But I'm definitely going to go down there to make sure my brother's good and protect his life. I'm not just going to leave my brother down the street with 4 men that I know at least one of them have a firearm.
Okay. Let me back up a little bit and see if this helps. When you first see a firearm, it is your testimony that that was Tyler, correct?
Correct.
And that was at the front of your house, sort of near the driveway road area, correct?
Correct.
And you said you saw him start to pull it out. You don't even wait for him to see what he's going to do with it. You immediately book it into the house.
Yes, ma'am.
And of course, you didn't have to go far into the house to find your firearm, right?
Correct.
It's right there by the door.
Yes, ma'am.
So you grab it and you run right back out.
Yes, ma'am.
By the time you come out, Tyler no longer has a gun in his hand.
Correct. From what I
And
observed.
as far as you can see, Tyler is standing over there in the roadway, right?
Yes, ma'am.
No gun in his hand.
Correct.
So at that point, you believe threat neutralized, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then you said you looked down the road on Redwood, and that's when you saw your brother.
Yes, ma'am.
And that was about 200 feet down.
Yes,
right?
ma'am. That's a approximation, I guess.
Of course, you
Yes.
didn't have a measuring tape,
Okay.
right? So about approximately.
Yes, ma'am.
But this is not all the way down to the car, correct?
No, I'll say my brother was probably about 20, 30 feet from the car.
Are you sure about that?
I mean, that's a guesstimate. I mean, I
You said people are running to the car, so it's not a quick jog to the car by that point, right?
I mean, they wasn't that far from their car to get to their car. I'm confused on what you're trying to ask.
So when you catch up or reach to where Daryl is, the car is still pretty far away from you, right?
No, my brother was 20 to 30 feet from the car, so
What's
that's
20
not
to 30
far.
feet? Perhaps that's the issue we're having.
Overruled. It's a new question. Go ahead. That's right. New question.
All right. So I just want to make sure we are even talking about the same distance, all right? So a while ago when you were talking with your attorney, you said this was about
10 yards. Yes.
10 yards or so, all right?
Correct.
Tell me how much in feet would you say, since we've been using feet?
I mean, I'll guess probably 10 yards would probably be like 25 to 30 feet, maybe.
Okay. So then Daryl was behind, right? And so were you.
Correct.
And the car, I assume, is where you are, right?
Correct.
Okay. I can't get very much further because of the chairs, but about where the first row is. Is that what you're saying is approximately where you were from the car?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's dark outside, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The only lights really is coming from the car.
Their lights was off.
I'm asking you, I don't know.
No, I mean, it's a street light further down the street.
How far is the street light?
I can't tell you how far it was from that scene.
We get that you're making an
Probably like,
approximation.
I guess probably like maybe 30 yards, maybe
Further away?
from where I was. Yes, it'll be further south.
So it's closer to the car,
Yes, it would be closer to the car.
but also more south of the car.
Yes,
Okay. So between yourself and the car and Daryl, there's no lights.
no, you can still see. Like, it's not like just pitch black where you can't see anything at all.
So you saw when the car lit up, right?
No, I didn't see when the car lit up.
You saw when the car started moving,
Yes,
and you hadn't yet fired when the car started moving, right?
no,
And the car reversed. That's the first thing it did, right?
not to my recollection.
Well, you've seen the video now.
Yes,
First thing a car did was reverse, right?
on that video, yes.
And then Keyshawn tried to make some weird 3-point turn to get out of there, right?
Correct.
And that's when you started shooting.
No, I started shooting while the car was faced towards me.
All right, let's watch it. Can I get your help?
I can't remember. Is this one that dimming the lights assists or?
Yes, Judge, it will assist, and I believe this one's State 49. Mr. Rudolph, can you see it, the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If you have to, just let me know that you can't see anymore and you need to step down, okay?
Okay.
If we could pause it. So here, Mr. Rudolph, this is the black Cadillac, right? Parked still?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If we could play. Pause for me. Back up. Maybe about at least 5 seconds. Thank you. Now, Mr. Rudolph, I want you to pay attention to this area of the screen where you come from and what the car is doing at the time, okay? All right. All right. You would agree, Mr. Rudolph, that these are the rear of the car, right?
Yes.
At the time you start shooting, that's you right here, right?
Yes.
With the muzzle flash?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. That car is already headed away from you. That's why we can see those taillights like that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Keep playing, please. All right. Pause. Do you need to see it again, or can you now answer whether or not you started shooting after the car was moving away from you?
That video doesn't do justice because I seen another angle where it's clearly that their car was faced towards me when I initially started shooting. So if you want to base it off that video, that's subjective because, I mean, I don't know what's up with that.
Okay. So do you think that this video has been changed in some way?
No, I just feel like it's camera angles are different. That's just my opinion.
All right, let's play the other
I was
angle.
physically there.
We're going to play the other angle, to be fair, states 31. And we're going to have to fast forward to about 12:10. Can you see the screen still?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Okay, pause for me. So you see on this video as well, the car is moving before you start shooting, right?
Ma'am, I testified that the car was faced towards me when I first started shooting.
Let's play it again.
You telling me
Go
they
back.
turned, and I clearly see fires. I see gunshots while the car is still faced towards me. I don't know if my eyes or your eyes are playing tricks with you, but I see that clearly.
Mr. Rudolph, you're not being asked a question right now. If you could please remain silent.
Yes, ma'am.
No, he was not. Sustained, or overruled, excuse me.
Pause it and go back about 5 seconds or so. And then play. Pause. Sorry, let's try that again and try to pause when okay. Pause. You would agree, sir, that the taillights of the vehicle were backing away from your direction, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that's before you see the first muzzle flash.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's enough. Thank you. Mr. Rudolph, why is it that you told your attorney that you couldn't shoot Tyler as he was running away from you to the car?
Because his back towards me and he wasn't a threat. He wasn't posing a threat at that moment.
And when the vehicle is going away from you, literally trying to drive away from you, they're now a threat?
Yes, when Sebastian and Tyler's pointing firearms at me. As far as what Keyshawn did driving, I have no control of that. But I definitely have control to protect me and my brother's life when two firearms are pointed towards me and my brother.
I want to talk about your great eyesight. You said that by the time you see this vehicle and these guns are being pointed at you, one of them is coming from the front windshield,
Yes, ma'am.
and you say you're sure that was a firearm, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said the next one was a firearm being held by Tyler through the crack of the door on the driver's side passenger.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you're shooting at Tyler or you're shooting at Sebastian?
I'm shooting to get them away from me. So far as who it was going at, I have no control of that. I'm not a marksman shooter, but I definitely felt like that was a time and moment to do what I had to do to make sure they left.
Mr. Rudolph, you said you're shooting so they get away from you. They're getting away from you. Why are you shooting?
Because they were pointing firearms at me. This is the exact reason why I was shooting.
Why are you so far down the road from where the fight happened with Daryl? Why? Isn't it because you were pursuing them?
No.
You pursued them down there, and then when you saw that they were getting away, you shot at them, right?
No, ma'am.
How did you get down there? Why are you down there? That's not your house.
My brother was down the street. That's the exact reason why I was down there.
All right.
You want the easel?
Mr. Rudolph, we're going to have you step down, if you don't mind.
Watch
Yes, ma'am.
your step. Yeah, thank you. Can probably both use pointers. So neither of you blocks the view of the jury. Where's the other pointer? Thank you. Perfect.
Can you show me where you live on the map?
Right here?
So that's the marker with the red thing sitting over it, right? 550 T Drive.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And your testimony is that this fight is happening with Daryl where?
Right in this area?
Okay. So that's right before you get to Sable Palm Drive? Is that what it's called, that
Right in
street?
this area, so.
So in the intersection in the roadway? Before you fully clear Sable Palm, right?
Correct.
And that vehicle, the car, is parked where?
Right here? Like right here?
That's your recollection?
That's my recollection.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So while the clerk is helping me find that, just remind us again where you believe Daryl was.
Right here,
Okay,
the intersection of Redwood and Sable.
all right. Now, would it surprise you that everybody else testified that he was up here? Just asked if he was surprised, Judge.
I couldn't hear you.
I asked if the witness was surprised that everybody else testified that he was further up the street.
Okay. What's the objection?
Proper comment being on a witness, and it's also facts not in evidence either. It's improper comment.
Overruled. Go ahead.
Do you see where that black X is on the board?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. That's about where the fight allegedly happened, right?
No, that's not what I recall.
Okay. Whereabouts were the casings found, you think?
This area?
You think they were found at the intersection right there?
Yes, ma'am. Probably further south. I don't know.
For the record, this one is States 1B. I'm going to hand it to you, Mr. Rudolph, because it's much smaller, okay? You would agree that on there are markers about where the shooting scene is, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And tell me where on this map it is.
In this area?
Further down, away from the intersection, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How'd you get down there? Why did you go down there?
My brother was down here.
Your brother was not down there. You just testified he was up here.
Ma'am, I can't be precise on exactly where the exact spot was, but I'm telling you he was down here closer to their car. That's my testimony.
Thank you so much. You can return to your seat. I want to talk to you about the threat that you perceived when you ran into your house and selected the assault rifle.
Yes.
I don't mind moving it, Judge.
Flossie, go ahead and help.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
And actually, we're going to be flipping to States 33, if you don't mind, while you're still there. All right. Let's angle this a little bit better. And if you could restart the video. Can you see the screen, Mr. Rudolph? Actually, Judge, can we try the lights? I think that might help us.
I can see the screen now.
All right, wonderful. Okay. One person that night had their hoodie up, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That was Keyshawn.
Yes, ma'am.
See the person in the corner here with their hoodie up?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so that would be Keyshawn, right?
All right.
Okay, if you could play. Pause. At the time you go into this residence, it doesn't appear that anybody has any firearms out. Do you know why that is?
I can't see you right now.
Can we go back so Mr. Rudolph can see the full video, please? Pause. So we know Keyshawn has walked off the screen at this point. Your mom, this is your mom with her phone in her hand, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then there are several men walking in front of her. If we could put it back so Mr. Rudolph can see from the beginning again. And you tell me who you see with the firearm in their hand when you're entering that house.
Wait, you want me to answer right now? I thought you was going to play the video.
Yes, play, please. Pause. You see anybody with a firearm out there?
In that video, no.
Doesn't even look like anybody's fighting out there.
No, ma'am.
So why are you going in your house?
Because
For your firearm.
Tyler pulled a firearm out.
Okay. And I want to back up in time, and Judge, if we could have the lights restored a little bit. You told us that at the time of this incident you had 2 firearms, right?
Yes, ma'am.
One of them is a 6-Sauer that's sitting in front of you right there, right? The bigger gun.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's not the gun you would conceal carry around with you, right?
No, not on my person when I'm like leaving the house. No, ma'am.
Would make more sense that it's the handgun than the Herstal.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's the one you were used to how it handled and carried it around more frequently.
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you pick that gun that night?
Like I said in my direct, it was the nearest thing to me, which was my 6-Sauer.
All right. You said on direct that the 6-Sauer was kept in a bag, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That bag wasn't open, right?
I can't recall if it was open or it wasn't.
And we saw the photographs of your bedroom. It's not a very large bedroom, right?
Correct?
And you said that the handgun was in the dresser, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you could have grabbed the handgun. You would agree.
Yes, I could have. I agree.
You elected to grab the assault rifle. Why?
It was the nearest thing to me. That's why I grabbed it.
Okay. So at this point in the video, when you've come back out with the firearm in your hand, and there's no fighting happening at that point, you would agree with that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Nobody has a gun in their hand, at least not that we can see, right?
Correct.
And the threat is gone, right?
I wouldn't necessarily say the threat is gone, because the guy that I just seen pull a firearm out before I had even went inside my house is right near my mom.
All right, let me back up the video and talk a little bit about where Mr. Robinson is in relation to your mom. You would agree that this is your mom,
Yes, ma'am.
and that is Mr. Robinson.
Possibly. I can't tell if that was him right there or not.
And you just ran into the house through this door, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You'd also agree this is you sliding after exiting with the assault rifle,
Yes, ma'am.
and that is still your mom,
Yes, ma'am.
and there's no one next to her.
From that video, I don't see any other figures. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the threat, at least that you could perceive right here, is not there, right?
Not near my mom that very second.
All right. So then you're talking about, must be this part,
Yes, ma'am.
where the person without the shirt that we can see over here, Tyler, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is your mom going towards Tyler, right?
Yes, ma'am.
She's not running away from him.
No.
She does not appear to see him as a threat based on that video.
I mean, I can't speak on my mom's behalf. I don't.
All right, let's watch it again and see what she does towards him. You would agree from that clip, we can clearly see your mother was away from Mr. Robinson and then ran towards Mr. Robinson, correct?
She probably ran towards me. I don't know if she was running towards Mr. Robinson.
Well, that's because you're running to Mr. Robinson, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So in order to get closer to you, she has to go closer to Mr. Robinson.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. At that point, that's your mother's voice saying, "Come on, Travis, please, please," right?
Yes, ma'am.
And she's saying that because you have now escalated a fist fight to bring out an assault rifle?
Yeah, sustained.
Why do you think? Actually, let me rephrase that, Judge. When your mother is saying that to you, what are you thinking?
What am I thinking?
Yes, because you're not looking down the road yet. Your focus is clearly Mr. Robinson. What are you thinking when she's yelling at you? Stop, please stop.
I'm thinking my mom don't know what I just seen.
You haven't seen anything yet. You ran directly to Mr. Robinson.
I'm thinking my mom don't know what I just seen for me to even go inside the house.
Oh, you mean the firearm that we didn't see? Okay.
Right.
So then your focus now, you would agree, is Mr. Robinson, and your mother is standing over there by the two of you, right?
Yes.
Trying to get you to go back in the house with a firearm.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You do not do that. You instead head down Redwood, right?
Yes, ma'am.
To the area that you believe is where your brother was.
Yes, ma'am.
By the time you get there, did your brother run off and go closer to the car? Was he doing stupid things like what he did with Tyler, following people that are running away with firearms?
No, ma'am.
So then you should have been by the intersection up there by Sable Palm Drive.
Correct.
And that's where you stayed.
I'm confused on your question.
It's not confusing. That's where you stayed, right? By Sable Palm Drive, right?
I definitely got in front of my brother during the time of this incident because, like I said, it appeared that the car was coming towards me. So I felt like I was the only one that was the protector for me and my brother. So I got in front of my brother.
All right. Permission to utilize states, I think it's states 3.
What is it?
It's one of the firearms, Judge.
All right, you may. Utilize it meaning what? You're going to need gloves or no?
Not going to touch it, Judge,
Okay.
just the box. Mr. Rudolph, you would agree this is the firearm you had in your hand at the time, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And even bigger and heavier than this because you had 100 rounds in that double barrel drum, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you see your brother at Sable Palm Drive, and you run down there, and everybody has ran and left him back to the car, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But you keep pursuing them. That is how you got by the car, right?
Ms. Edwards, keep that, put that down.
Is it scary,
And
Judge?
flip it around so the muzzle's pointing towards me, not out there towards the jury. All right? Thank you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right, Mr. Rudolph?
No, I disagree.
So you're saying from the several feet that you were away, you could see into that dark car that didn't have any lights on.
Yes, ma'am.
And you could see clearly that guns were being pointed at you from a crack in a door over on the other side from where you're looking,
Yes, ma'am.
and from a windshield
Yes, ma'am.
in a tinted vehicle.
I don't know if it was tinted, but I definitely seen 2 firearms, without a question.
And as you're shooting, this is not a mistake, right? You did that on purpose. Right?
I did it in reaction of their actions, which was pointing firearms at me and my brother.
That was not my question. Did you do it on purpose or was it a mistake?
I definitely did it on purpose.
Okay. You can own it.
Yeah.
All right. And you did that pointing it at them and firing even though nobody shot at you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you claimed you saw a gun in that dark car,
Yes, ma'am. Two guns.
even though you had seen no other guns.
I seen 2 guns.
Not before that point had you seen guns.
I only seen 1 gun before that point.
The gun that you said magically disappeared when you came out?
I didn't say it magically disappeared.
Sustain.
I want to back up to when you first heard the knocks on the door. You remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were laying in your room with your shirt off, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you came to the door, you also had your shirt off, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But that wasn't because you were being aggressive to anybody, right?
That's correct. I was about to go to sleep.
But nobody should have perceived you at the time you came through the door as aggression, right? Even though you had your shirt off.
That's correct.
Okay. Because you came outside, according to you, to mediate.
Yes, ma'am.
And Keyshawn wasn't just some stranger, right, to you?
Correct.
We can see from the text messages you exchanged gifts. This was your, quote, little brother, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you could have a conversation with him.
Yes, ma'am.
How is it that if your phone is broken, you rejected his calls, one of the 6?
I didn't reject nobody's call.
So you're fighting with what the phone records say?
Yes, ma'am, because I can't answer the phone if my whole screen is cracked. So I disagree with what those phone records say.
Sort of like you're fighting with whether or not Dominique was your girlfriend,
She wasn't my girlfriend.
or whether or not you cheated on her.
I didn't cheat her on her if she's not my girlfriend.
I want to talk about that call Dominique made to Kyla that evening. Why was she making that call?
Sustained.
Judge, he would know what he was asked to do.
What's the question?
It was a
Yeah.
FaceTime call in front of Mr. Rudolph to the young woman allegedly he was cheating with. So I asked, why was that call being made? He would know, if he knows.
If you know, you may answer.
Well, it wasn't cheating, but she made the call looking for answers pretty much.
And so you had to convince her then, based on that conversation, that you weren't in fact cheating, right?
It wasn't cheating, but she was looking for answers that she didn't get anything out of.
And she didn't believe you.
No, she didn't.
She thought you were still cheating.
If that's what you want to call it, but it wasn't cheating.
And you were cheating, weren't you, Mr. Rudolph?
No, ma'am.
Are you sure about that?
At that time, I was a single man.
Ah. So you're not in a relationship and you're free to screw whoever you want.
Sustained.
Right? I didn't ask that question before, Judge.
Sustained.
Mr. Rudolph, isn't it true that you had sex with someone else and recorded it and saved a video of that from March 29th of 2021?
Come on up, folks. Somebody wanted a break. I don't know how much, well, come on up. Before I decide on a break, I've got to talk to the lawyer.
still the
Ladies
same
and gentlemen of the jury, we've only got a couple more minutes, literally, and then we'll take a break before redirect, okay? Go ahead, Ms. Edwards.
Mr. Rudolph, as the vehicle is driving away, you realize that you kept shooting even after it was gone?
During the time, no, but
So
Seen
you
that
start
video, yes.
shooting after it moved, as we've established, right?
yes, ma'am.
And then even as it's going away, you're still shooting into it, right?
Yes, I fired a couple rounds.
And you just kept going. It's not a couple, it's 39, right?
39, that's in the process of while I seen the firearm, so
Right. And you gave an interview about this particular topic. Do you recall that?
yes, ma'am.
And at the time you were asked by the reporter, why 39 shots? Do you recall that?
Yes, ma'am.
You said you had quick reflexes.
Yes, ma'am.
Not you needed to neutralize the threat. You had quick reflexes.
I also said I needed to neutralize the threat. I just kept shooting until they was no longer a threat.
As they're driving away from you, trying everything to get away from you, you still thought you needed to neutralize what threat?
I disagree with you that they was trying to get away from me because I don't see how you're trying to get away from someone and you're pointing firearms at someone.
So the car that's moving away from you is not trying to get away from you. It's coming towards you.
Once again, I can't control what Keyshawn did as a driver, but I know what I seen, and that was 2 firearms pointed at me and my brother. So,
And your brother is behind you, right?
yes, I believe he was behind me.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm sorry. I believe he was behind me, yes, like to the right of me.
And your mom's in the house, right?
From my knowledge, yes.
So this whole time you're shooting into the car, they're certainly in no immediate danger.
Excuse me, can you repeat that?
Your brother and your mom are certainly in no immediate danger.
Me and my brother was in immediate danger. He was right there, right
How
next to
come?
me.
The car's going away and you're still firing into it.
There's firearms pointed at us, ma'am.
How could you see that? It's tinted windows and it's away from you now, driving away from you.
I seen it while their car was faced towards us.
And then at the end of all this shooting, you keep walking down the road. You saw that in the video, right?
Yes, ma'am.
With your firearm.
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you just go home? Why didn't you just go home when you saw that Daryl was fine, the fight had ended? Why didn't you just go home?
Because it appeared that their car was heading towards me and my brother with no lights on. So that's already raising suspicion. And then in the midst of that, they pointed firearms at me and my brothers.
You can clearly see that vehicle is not going towards you, right?
From that video.
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, folks, as I promised, we'll take a 15-minute break. Be back at 4 o'clock, please. It's a little longer than 15 minutes. You've heard a lot, but you still have redirect examination. I don't know how long that'll be. Nevertheless, keep an open mind. No research, no discussion. If you happen to run into us, well, you're not going to. You're going to stay back in the jury room. At least most of you are. But if somebody has to go outside, they'll do that with the